My main goal is to visit 197 countries of the world and 81 provinces of the Philippines. I recognize that's not a cheap thing to do. Hi, I'm Atom. I'm now a product associate and I make 660,000 in a year. And this is my money breakdown. I graduated from Xavier and then UP Diliman from industrial engineering. From there, I started working in GrowSari as a product associate and I've been there ever since. So what does a product associate do? I'm a product associate for customer experience. So any point that the Sari Sari store interacts with GrowSari is what I try to improve on.
Why did you pursue this kind of profession? You mentioned earlier that this is your first.
Yes, so GrowSari is my first job. It happened because I was very interested in what GrowSari was doing. I really enjoyed their mission of doubling the income of 1 million Sari Sari stores. And so I took that opportunity. In terms of pay, I started with GrowSari earning I think 25K a month. But now, after a couple of raises, I'm earning 50K a month. So yeah, so that translates I think 660,000 a year. My main side hustle now is selling in our village marketplace. So I look for things to buy, either things my friends are selling or things I find on my travels, and I sell them on the marketplace.
Merchandising.
My most consistent product is bangus that I source from Pangasinan. I sell it bi-weekly and then I deliver it straight to my neighbors. Other things I've sold in the past were trail mix that I'd make myself. I'd put them together, repackage it into small pouches, and then I'd sell it. I've sold yakan placemats, yoga mats, and right now I'm exploring selling frozen dim sum. So that gives me, I think, 3 to 5K additional a month. Not so much, but it's something. My main motivation with working and doing this side hustle in the village marketplace is so I can have more funds to travel. I have two criteria, I guess, when I'm looking for income that will fund me while I travel. It has to be sizable. And second, it has to be location independent. It has to be something I can do no matter where I am. So what do I love about traveling? I love meeting people. I love trying new food. I love seeing animals. I love seeing the different natural landscapes. And I love that it's so finite. I love that when you go on a trip, you know it will end. For some reason, that makes you just appreciate things more. It makes you more curious. And it adds a lot more life to life. Initially, when I go on trips, I want to do as many things as possible. I would research everything a province or city has to offer, and I will make sure to do everything. I'll wake up as early as possible and sleep as late as possible so I can fit everything in my schedule. Unfortunately, when I do this kind of travel, it leaves me very tired and stressed. I feel like there's always more for me to do. So I've shifted that perspective. I try to do 3 things. So first is the main goal. For example, when I went to Catanduanes, my main goal was to surf, to learn how to surf. Second is I work and I do my daily rituals as I would normally do. And then third is I leave time, free time, so I can explore the place spontaneously and get to know the environment I'm in. So I started using money apps, but now my main method of tracking is through a Google Sheet and a Google form that's linked to it. So that's one. I track my expenses daily. The only other habit I actually have is a monthly habit. Right after I get my income, my salary, I immediately allocate it. So either that goes to investments, emergency fund, savings, or spending. My system for allocation, it branches out in 2 ways. The decision point is the level of my emergency fund. So if my emergency fund is on target, then I allocate my funds toward investments more. If my emergency fund is below my target, then I don't put anything in investments and I focus that portion toward building back that emergency fund. I learned about personal finance myself. I started tracking my money because I was extremely kuripot. And I would get, I think, 500 a week in high school and then 1,000 a week in college. It was enough, but not so much. And I wanted to make sure that my money would last as long as possible. So that meant knowing where every peso went. I felt that I needed to take my personal finance to the next level if I wanted to, achieve my goals of traveling. So I dedicated 1 month toward learning more about personal finance. I researched on Google the best personal finance books and I read them all. Then I watched some YouTube videos after that to just build on that foundational knowledge.
So speaking of finance books,
Yeah.
can you share with us like your favorites?
I think the two I would recommend first is The Go-Giver and The Latte Factor. I think they're both 100 pages long, so they're super easy to read and they're told in a story-like manner, but the lessons are very punchy. If you want to take it to the next level though, I would recommend 3 books. So there's I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. There's The Psychology of Money, and the last is the little book on common sense investing. So those really dive deep into specific tactics, strategy on personal finance. Actually, it's not. So that's a common misconception that traveling is expensive. But I think my budget per province is about 10K, including the flight. 20K if it's like a very long and extravagant trip. I'm imagining though it will get expensive once I start doing trips abroad. So that's what I'm really saving up for.
How do you save up for your travels and how do you budget around it?
So I have this savings bucket in GSave that I built up over the pandemic. So I think 60 to 70% of the income I was getting at the time, I was putting into GSave just for travel. And my goal was to build that up to 300,000. Once it hit 300,000, I would stop putting in and start taking out. So I plan my trips based on flights rather than by destination. For example, the Cebu Pacific Super Pass that go, and that's what I buy, what those promos give me. Instead of telling myself, okay, I want to go to Boracay on December. That will really kill your budget because it will be expensive.
How long did it take you to build up this travel fund?
Yeah.
And what will you do if it runs out?
I think it took me about a year and a half to build this up. This is actually the main point of the latte factor. You can make up a lot of money by saving just a little consistently. And yes, I'm conscious that this will run out. So that's why I'm really putting more effort into this marketplace and using that as a funnel to build my second savings bucket and then see where that goes. So my best purchase is 20 Cebu Pacific Super Pass tickets, which I bought over the course of last year. The Cebu Pacific Super Pass, if you're not familiar with how it works, is you have a one-way ticket to any destination that's covered by Cebu Pacific. The only catch is you have to use it before a certain date. That meant that I had to use it and I had to travel. So the base fare cost was 99 times 20, so about 2,000. But when you buy the Cebu Pacific Super Pass, it comes with a couple of additional fees and taxes. So I think the total cost per ticket went up to 600. So I spent about 12,000 for this, for all 20 of the tickets. My worst purchase though was a polo shirt from Zara. I don't normally buy from Zara, but on this weird occasion, I fit a polo shirt. It was a basic green polo shirt. It cost, I think, about 1,200. Super expensive for my standards for clothes. And when I got home, I realized it didn't fit me properly. So, but until now, it's still a trauma. So I don't think I've bought anything from Zara since. Oh, just kidding, this is from Zara, but it's from China. So it doesn't really count, and it was on sale. Next, my impulse purchase, I think this is blank. My impulse purchase is a Yakan placemat. So I was in Zamboanga and I visited the Yakan Weaving Center. And I saw these really beautiful placemats. It comes with this one big diamond pattern. I forgot the local term for it, but then it's a unique pattern for the Yakan weavers. So I bought 8 immediately for my table at home. So the original price was $350 per placemat, but I was able to bargain it down to $300. So that cost $2,400 in total. This could have been a worse purchase though, because when I got home, I realized the placemats didn't fit our table. Our table is round, and if you lay out all the placemats, they overlap. So it didn't look very nice. It didn't look as I expected it to. But I was able to find another purpose for it, and that's as a laptop mat. The mouse works on top of it. It makes me feel happy. Add some life into my table. Yeah, that's my impulse purchase. I didn't expect to get laptop mats. I mean, placemats. I call it laptop mats now. But I didn't expect to get placemats in Zamboanga. But yeah, now I have laptop mats. Yeah, so this is my lifestyle receipt. I applied for a work visa to Australia. So before I leave, my goal is to have visited 81 provinces of the Philippines. It just doesn't feel right to me that I'm living in a different country without having, fully experienced my own. I don't think it's a very unique goal to travel. Everyone I've talked to so far wants to travel as well. I was overcome with appreciation and awe for the world we live in, right? And we're the only species that can appreciate our planet. If you think about other animals, they live on this world to survive and not so much to appreciate. And I realized that the purest form of appreciation is experience, to be there yourself firsthand. So I'm traveling to appreciate the experience. If that hits anyone here, then that's great.
Hey, so this is
This is money breakdown.
Your mask.
I was saying I was skipping.
This is Money Breakdown.
Yay! This is Atom, Money Breakdown. It's gonna be like for the traders.